Live on Instagram, Chris. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Dead Hedgehogs podcast.
We're also on the YouTube channel.
My name is Chris.
Chris,
This is Stephen.
this is I.
And welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Is right. We had a great conversation last night, and we're going to continue it on here. We didn't really need the mics. The sound was very good last night. So, guys, on Instagram, we are just about to start our Dead Hedgehogs YouTube live once again. It was very insightful last night. It went on a little bit longer than we had hoped for.
A good long chat.
We had a great long chat, so much so that we ran out of time. And we are going to continue that. We're not going to go on as long as we did last night, but it would be great if he popped over to us here in the studio over on our Dead Hedgehogs YouTube channel.
That would be
Do you like my jacket, guys?
I love your jacket.
Some voice changeover stuff going on. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I have no idea what that means either. You should own a rugby team, I don't know what that means either.
Do you want to
How are you getting on
would you want
over
to buy a
in-
rugby team?
I would love to buy a rugby team. I
which
love
team?
rugby. Absolutely love rugby. But anyway, we're going to take off from where we left off last night about the events that happened last week, and also I'm going to mention the Garen Noon video that I keep getting sent and tagged in, and I'll tell you my
Yeah,
real
that's
thoughts
you've
on
been
that.
sent a lot about
I
that.
have been sent a lot of that, and so much so that I'm thinking about doing a video about it.
Karen
In
goes
a nice video.
on the YouTube, says that jacket is loud.
It
and
is loud.
It's so loud.
Do you like my
don't
jacket?
even need a microphone.
I will. Any pints tonight? Maybe later on, Decky. Maybe later on. Do the eye twitch? Or there's so many of them I can do. I can do. I can do the. I can do the heavy
I
one.
was doing it for you.
Oh yeah. I'm ambidextrous when it comes to the eyes. Right. We'll pop over to the Dead Hedgehogs YouTube channel, and
Yeah,
we will continue
King
this
Asp says
conversation
that last
right
night
there.
was heavy.
It
What's
was
the
heavy.
business tonight.
Well, we're going to continue that on, and then we're going to talk about the
We're
Katy Taylor fight. It was
heavyweights.
heavy last
We're
night. Now
heavyweights.
we're heavyweights.
Jump
Good luck.
over to the Dead Hedgehogs. Yeah, guys. How are things? How are you doing, Steve?
We're doing good.
How's
doing
your
good.
what's the occasion?
The
I
occasion.
feel underdressed.
You do? Well, you know what? The jacket was in the other room, in
Yeah.
the other office, and it's a bit cold. It's gone cold.
It's a bit chilly now this evening.
So I decided I would put on the jacket. Now you might ask me, where did I get this jacket?
I could ask you that.
You could ask me that.
Where did you get the jacket?
That's better.
Where did you get the
I
jacket,
got
Steve?
this jacket in TK Maxx in Galway. Myself and Pete. And it was like something like €480 down to €60, and I said you could not.
It couldn't have been.
You
48
couldn't.
euro.
Oh yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't pass it off.
Yeah, and it was actually at the clearance store. So even TK Maxx had brought it down to something like 200,
Oh right.
and then it was just obviously no one bought it, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The only thing is, it was missing buttons.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, there was
Buttons
buttons inside, but
Buttons can be.
I never
easily
bothered
put
with
on.
them. I like.
Someone decided to burst out of it in the middle of TK
maybe
Maxx one day.
maybe someone tried it down, but Pete said you cannot leave that. I was going to leave it behind, and French Toast said you can't.
Don't do it, man. Don't
Yeah,
leave
I
it behind.
didn't.
You'll
Spent a
only be
fortune that day. I
regretting
was buying all sorts of stuff.
it. You love shopping.
I love shopping.
You've got it's not just like
Not
you,
just
you
for
have an
creamy,
addiction to it.
not just for creamy pints either. I
Yeah.
absolutely
You
love shopping.
Just dusting around.
I could
looking
spend
at stuff.
days shopping. I'm weird like that for a man.
That's I was gonna say that is not what men are known for.
I know.
Browsing.
I just love
Touching-
shopping.
touching-
I'd like to think I'm
A feminist.
I'd like to think that I am a man's man, but it's my guilty pleasure is shopping. I'll shop for days. TK Maxx is my favorite shop.
You heard
And
it
I know
here
a
first, guys.
I know a lot of people hate TK Maxx because there's no uniform to it. There's no
Yeah, you can find
system to
anything.
it.
Yeah,
but you can find absolute gems in it.
there. Yeah, if you've the patience.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. If you have the patience, but I have a patience in abundance. I was born with patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I could
You do.
wait around
You-
for
in fairness to you
days and
now,
hours.
you-
But then when I flip, I absolutely lose my
You
shit.
go hard.
Yeah, so
Go-
that's just
Goes
that's
hard
just-
in the plaint.
I go from 0 to 60 in like minus 1 second. Anyways, what do you think of the lighting? Was it better last night for anyone that was on last night?
Give us your feedback.
Give us your feedback. Do you want to go up and press the button and let me know?
Yeah, what's that? We'll test it. We'll do this live test.
Which TK Maxx is your favorite? My favorite TK Maxx is actually the one in Sligo, and the one in Castlebar is very good. The one in
Vinny
Galway.
probably has shares in TK Maxx.
This is the stuff we need to know. Vinny, the Castlebar and Sligo. Sligo was always my favorite. Castlebar is better than Galway, and there's one in Liffey Valley as well that's very good. No, actually, I take that back.
Which
That's a
is
lie.
better? Which is the better lighting?
Which
This
is the better
makes-
lighting? Yeah,
This
one
makes my head look a little shiny, to be honest. But
you gotta work with.
the
Sometimes you
other
gotta
one,
piss
the
with
other
the
one
cock
was
that
a
you
little
got.
bit nice and cozy, like.
I don't know. Someone tell us which
Tell
which
us.
is nicer,
Someone
brighter
make a
or sort
decision.
of darker. So that's my answer on TK Maxx, and that is not why we're on this. Much brighter lighting before you just got up, Chris. The second light is a yellow one. Turn it off again. All right, fair enough. I would go the opposite way. Tonight is better.
Okay, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
better.
Fair
See?
enough. Okay. Right. Okay. So gone a little dark.
Very
You
good.
like that? You like that sort of cozy, Christmassy, intimacy feeling? If we had an open fire here, I think that would add to it.
Oh,
No, it also
Could be
there's
burn
no
the
there's
place
no
down.
fireplace, so
yeah,
it would also burn the place
be a
down.
problem. Like,
So that would be a big problem.
like trying to explain that to the landlord. It's like we were testing something.
Yeah, but didn't
Didn't
work.
work out. Sorry about the whole building and most of the street.
Shopping only alone. I can't shop with others, especially women. It's a bit mood style lighting, smooching coming. All right, fair enough. Okay, I
We're
understand. that-
sensual people.
I understand. All right, fair enough. We'll go with that. So yeah, I love shopping as well. But again, as you said, on your own. If you've time, and
Yeah,
then
no one
throw
nagging
in an old coffee here and there as well.
Should like that? If that was the case, you could go for a nice sneaky pint, treat yourself to some
No,
lunch.
no. I wish I cannot do that. I can't do that English thing.
The whole point is to go get distracted from the thing and go for a lock of pints.
Yeah.
And then go, geez, that was great shopping.
Well, that is true too, but that would be my problem. If I went in for 1 pint, I can't do 1 pint. I wish I could.
But nobody can. There's no such
The
thing.
English can.
Yeah, but they're not really
Well,
people.
they're English, is it?
They're not really people.
Yeah, Shannon says shopping and coffee.
You've got a feminist heart, the pair of you.
Yeah, shopping and coffee is good. Pints are a different type of shopping. You don't mix them up. Oben says, lads, can you sort out the sound?
Have you ever been shopping so hard that you've gone into a pub, thrown the bags behind the counter, and just left them there for possibly a couple of days?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's real shopping.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, I have. Yeah, and in fact, I'd say I've left bags behind full
And
stop.
never
Never came back. What is the sound? What is wrong with the sound, Oben? The English thing. Fair enough, Tim. Fair enough.
I don't know what the problem with the sound is.
Tim Egan. Me and Tim had lots and lots of pints. We went shopping for pints in the Bill Murray in London, if I'm not mistaken. Tim, is it the same Tim? Last year, or was it more than that? Not the Mayo accent. Fair enough.
You're in the wrong fucking stream.
We did, Tim. We had a few pints. No, hit the booze, shopping left in pub, retrieved 3 days later. Yeah, well, that can happen. That can happen too. Sound is a bit crackly, is it?
We can sort that.
We can sort that. Scratching on. Maybe it's my beard. Is it better now?
Is that okay?
We had
I think that sounds a little
absolutely bang on last night. Absolutely bang on. So we don't want to not have the sound bang on.
Want to have the sound bang on every night. You keep
Exactly. That is the problem with these things. The more technical stuff you have, the more chance you have of it going wrong. and we're going to try and speed this up because we're not going to go on as long as we did last night. We went on an hour and a half last night before we even knew it, and we would have continued.
Swap this
Okay.
mic out.
We would have continued as well, only for I had to collect my daughter. Do.
Working this on the fly.
How's that now? Are we good? Sound, Shannon, thank you very much. Perfect. Maybe it was just the wrong mic. Did you sell the watch? Sean, no, I did not sell the watch. Not yet. I haven't even put it up for sale. I would love to be in. I have a plan for the watch. I have a plan for the watch, and I'll incorporate the watch into the new show. So I'm trying to make it that I don't have to sell the watch. Put it to you that way. Which is it's an expensive watch, but you know what? You can treat yourself the odd time. And I have a plan that's going to make the watch pay for itself, if that makes sense. You just have to come to one of the new live shows to see that. Does the plan involve gifting it to me? Well, if you come to a live show, you never know what might happen.
But the ticket for that live show is about €2,000.
Yeah,
It's a private show.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that good that someone had spent
Sean's in. He's up for
€2,000
€2,000
to go and see you?
Yeah, just hang out.
I made a video. I made a quick video today about girls allowed charging €250, but like people are paying crazy
way more. We were at
way more. Yeah, Taylor Swift is something like 3,000.
We were at the Katy Taylor fight the last day.
Which we're going to talk about in a while.
Your
set too high
audio
on your app audio interference.
I don't know.
Maybe
I've turned that down a bit.
So. No, it says on the old green thing here that. I think
anyway, right, we'll just keep on going, and if I'll have a look at it while
Tim did go 2 nights on the trot. Yes, he did. To our shows, and I told him the first night he went. I think it was what happened was we sold out 2 nights in the Angels Comedy Club, which is a very prestigious comedy club in London and throughout the world, and. So they asked us will we do a third night, but the problem is the first 2 nights were Monday, Tuesday. That's the nights that they do in this club, and they said would we do the Sunday night. So what happened was all the Irish bought their tickets for the Monday and the Tuesday night, and then a load of English people, which was grand, came to the first night because they got their tickets, and they had bought the tickets for the third night. That was actually the first night. It's complicated, but anyway. We hadn't. That was our first time doing that show outside of Ireland, and we hadn't sort of modified the show for an international audience. And maybe in some of the show we were taking the mick out of English people, and we forgot to adjust the show because we were just after coming from 2 sellout shows in Cork's city limits. So it was like we got a rude awakening when we got there, but the next 2 nights made up for it. If that is that how it went, Tim? Evening lads, positive energy. Evening, positive energy. Cowboy sound like he's sort of.
Yeah, I don't know where that static is coming
unturned
from.
Radio station.
I'm on it, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, so we were going to pick up from where we left off last night, although it's taken us nearly 15 minutes to get into it, and it was a very heavy conversation last night.
Yeah.
For anyone that hasn't watched
I
it,
think
go back
that
and check it out.
Most of the crew that were on the stream sat and listened to us. It might be the loud jacket that's interfering with the mic.
It could be, Shannon. It could be.
It could be.
I might have to take it off. The only thing is, if I took it off, you'd realize that I was wearing actually tracksuit bottoms with the shirt.
Like you're going up painting an old barn.
Yeah.
This is the gear you painted an old barn.
This is all fake. I'm not wearing anything underneath.
But yeah, Joe, it's funny when I was looking at the comments in the stream last night, they really balanced and fair, and they were listening to it and giving their points of view, and everyone was like in an open forum, and we were listening to each other, which was the Russians are messing with the broadcast.
Could be.
Yeah, they might be boosting the audio
when we get that big, we'll be away.
The Russian bots are going to be. Yeah. Oh, they're big players, man.
Positive energy says, we understood both viewpoints from last
night. It was
great.
Fair. And then
I tell you, I'll be honest. I actually thought when we went on to do it, because I was mad to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd challenge me. Like, you didn't tell me that. Not that you had to tell me what you were going to say.
But I
but
didn't
I
know
thought,
what you were going to say either. So I was going to see Putin backing Mayo for Sam. If that's what it takes.
If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Moscow could win Sam Maguire before Mayo do.
Yeah, that's true. But like when we were just having that discussion, you know, there's different viewpoints, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to discuss these things openly and frankly, and
we did.
more importantly, we're supposed to listen to each other.
It was a healthy chat.
Yeah, but and I know you were surprised that I have a different viewpoint on it, but that's
I was terribly surprised. But then it was great because it made for great conversation, and that's what this platform is about, or any platform is about, is to discuss these things. And I think, and I go back to the point again where a lot of information isn't coming through.
Yeah,
about this situation, about what happened last Thursday. We've heard nothing from the victims' families, which is unusual. We've heard nothing about the Irish lad that was meant to have been there first before the Brazilian lad.
Yeah.
And there's rumors going around about them. Why aren't they being talked to? So as I said, lack of information makes people think for themselves.
Yeah, no, lack of information can lead to wild conspiracy theories.
Exactly. Now it could be innocent, but there could be something towards it as well. A lot of people are saying there's rumors going around about the teacher that's still in critical condition and the child that
Yeah, but they're unsubstantiated.
I'm not going to mention them, but they're there. I mean, everyone has heard them.
Yeah, but they're from untrustworthy sources sometimes, or you can't verify them yourself. So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not worth
so exactly, we can't say that.
Like one thing that I'd look at is it's what I noticed. And we got a few messages on the Instagram really praising, straight after the show.
Yeah.
Some of the guys might still be in the chat now, and they're really positive about the way that we were chatting having that conversation. But then I was looking at the comments coming in from today.
Yeah.
And they were post the conversation, and I took a few hits from some of these comments.
Well, you see,
which I don't really care
people
about.
People that follow 3 Bucks Left obviously follow 99% of them, or 95% of them would follow my way of thinking.
Yeah.
So obviously they've transferred over to the Deadhead Jugs,
which is fine. Like I said, I don't actually.
But then again, I've got a lot of shit as well,
of course,
and even from people that follow me, which I was very surprised with.
But what I'd wonder is that the thing is, both of us went in with no agenda. We're just
of course,
we just have different points
of view.
Both of
us want the best for everyone, Irish people and foreigners. Like they're coming over and they're being put into. No one wants anyone having a bad life.
And we agree on more stuff than we disagree. We agree on the fact that there is a failure in government to provide housing.
Failure in government.
Massive.
And it's endemic. Very badly as well.
And the thing is, because the government is jumping from crisis to crisis to crisis, what they're doing is they're pushing the boat down the road. So they distract you with one crisis, then they don't do anything about it. Jump to the next crisis.
Yeah.
And then you're like, so you went from healthcare to housing to immigration. And you're never set on anything because they haven't fixed anything.
No, fixed nothing. It's just one crisis. It's just like fighting fires, pardon the pun, all over the place.
Yeah. But like that, it's set. These governments that we've had for the last number of years have been set up to do that.
These governments are the same government we've had for
100 years.
100 years.
We've never had anything different.
Now we've had some good ones in it, and we've had some shitty ones in it, and they seem to be getting just the same sort of type of people all the time. And this hate speech thing, the more I hear about it, the more worrying that's going to be as well.
But I was watching Up Front with Katy Taylor on RT1 last night.
Okay.
Or I watched it on the RT player, and basically that is it's like a sit-in show.
Yeah.
and they
I
take
think Steve
views from
Timothy
the
was on it
audience.
last week. He gave a good interview.
Yeah, possibly. But there was Padre Tobin on, and
He's Sinn Féin, isn't he?
he used to be.
All right, okay.
He started a party called Ain 2.
Oh
Now
yes, yes.
he's quite right wing, but he was a Sinn Féiner. He
Yeah.
was a Shinner. So he was on the he's on he would be very against what Sinn Féin look for now. But in that show, they had the paramedic that saved the child.
Yeah.
They had a whole plethora of different people on, and I didn't watch all of it, but like they played these telegram messages that these thugs were sending out
Mhm.
at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my god, if you heard these.
I didn't hear them.
They
I think
played
you were
them.
just about to play them before we went
I
live.
I wouldn't play them on here.
No,
It would
okay.
actually get us taken down. But like basically
But-
these voice notes were calling for these thugs, patriots, to go into the city to kill an immigrant if there's one there.
No
To
way.
go, I swear to God. It's a and he said if there's any guards in this chat, go fuck yourself too. He said we're coming after you tonight. And he said what we have to do is if they come at us, splinter off, start the fires in Smithfield, start the fires in
Like,
anywhere
this
you can,
isn't-
Grafton Street, but O'Connell Street.
This isn't like it's not. We're not fighting our own.
No,
We're not fighting anyone.
But,
See,
uh,
the
but
thing
like
is,
the-
we're
the-
fighting for. We're fighting, not fighting as in physically fighting, but we're fighting for calm and peace in this
yes,
in this country for everyone. But obviously, there's a reason that this is happening. That needs to be looked at.
like there
And
was,
I tell you what, a lot of messages I got into the page today from people that watched it, people that have intentions of coming to Ireland, coming to Dublin, and not just themselves, but people that are going to colleges or thinking about sending their kids to colleges, 20-year-olds,
Yeah.
21-year-olds, to colleges in Dublin and Limerick and Cork and Galway, whatever, and they're now worried. They're
Yeah.
now worried about sending
Yeah.
their kids. And the thing is, the reason people are losing their shit at the minute in Ireland about what's going on in their cities is because this is all new to us. We are one of the safest countries in Europe, or maybe even the world.
yeah,
And when that balance is shaken up, and like that's why we're uneasy about it.
yeah. We're not
So it's
one of
still
these,
it's still a very safe
100%.
city in comparison, or city
We are in
country.
comparison to most,
Yeah.
and like I think that look, while we can have a balanced conversation, where this was really stoked up was on Twitter with stuff like hashtag Irish for the Irish,
Yeah.
or hashtag.
I don't mind. I
immigrants
don't mind that hashtag. It's still,
I think, but like the connotations is that it
yeah,
should only be
to a
for-
degree. To a degree, yeah.
But like that, but at the end of the day, the ones that follow that have a viewpoint that Ireland shouldn't have anyone in it bar Irish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Not in this modern era. And of course, if you go to any country, any civilized country in the world, you're going to find an Irish person no matter where you go. You're going to find an Irish bar, whether they're Irish owned or not.
Like I remember being in Manhattan in 2000.
But I would like to think that we are contributing to global society.
Yeah, but I think
Which I'm sure there's I know that there's a lot of people coming from other countries, and the same here.
100%. And like the arguments for and against immigration, like what I took from your conversation is that it isn't just so cut and dry, and there's really big nuances. There is an increase in immigration coming into Ireland.
Yeah.
No one doubts that.
Of all types, the acceptable type, or the type that we have to do. And I think we've done enough. In my opinion, I think we've done enough in that regard.
The type of immigration we were talking about that was an issue
Yeah,
last year that came into the country was 13,000 people, and was less than 10% of overall immigration.
But it's still too much.
Yeah. Well, no. Well,
that's another thing. But that you said that's only 10%.
Less than 10%.
Yeah. Well, that's 13,000.
Yeah.
That's in itself is scary. That amount of people have came into Ireland when
we're a country of 5 million people.
We're a country of 5 million people that don't have 5 million houses. or the housing, and that was my argument from last night.
There is
Or
definitely
500
there's a
enough to
different
hold 5 million people. If it was different, it'd be different.
well the levels of immigration and the levels of people, and this isn't because there's over 130,000 people that came into the country, and most of them on a visa system. So what we're saying?
No, I don't think they did. You see, that's the problem, that they're being brought in, we say, from the likes of Ukraine or under the flag of Ukraine, and they don't need a visa system.
No, that's not. Yeah,
you're telling me there's 80,000 visas being given to, because 80,000, apparently 80,000, more than 80,000 Ukrainians have come into the country.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about
and they
Ukraine.
They don't need checks.
Yes, I know they don't need.
They don't need a visa
system. They don't need. They're not part of the visa system.
Like, are you saying that there's another 130,000 on top of the 80,000, or is that included in the 80,000?
I don't. There is Ireland haven't taken in 80,000.
The government have said that themselves.
I don't.
20,000 was our target, and we hit 80,000, and they were looking for more, and that's a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because what I heard on the radio earlier was, discussion is going on the radio. This is because as remnants of what's happened. But like, we're talking about, so what I heard was 30,000 was the 130,000 was our net immigration into the country. 13,000 would be from asylum seekers and like conflicts and stuff like that. And then now 80,000 Ukrainians coming to the country.
Well, the thing is, when I say Ukrainians, I think a lot of people are getting in under that Ukrainian deal that aren't Ukrainian, because an awful lot of them look like the South African rugby team. If you know what I mean. But anyway, I made a joke of that, and I got a great reaction on some platforms, and Twitter, it went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine,
but like again, we're talking. There's statistics about this by the CSO that will tell you they're non-governmental. They're funded by the government, but they're non-partisan. Their job is to just correlate the statistics. We should look that up before we get into.
Well, it was the government that announced that.
The government can skew the statistics how they want.
Why would they skew it up the way?
Well, they
knowing the fear on the ground. But anyway, then again, why should I ask anything this government is doing?
Yeah.
Lads, your opinions are reflective of the normal Bucks discussions. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oblin. Is that a name, or is that just like a pseudonym? Lads, your opinions are reflective of them. It's just a discussion and an opinion. Concerns in when conversation turn into hate and hate turns into violence. 100%. They're 100%. When it turns to violence, then you know you've lost. We never had issues. Everyone loves the Irish all over the world. We'd like to think so.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
Yeah, and I believe that.
There's been plenty issues.
At
one stage, there was no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Why do you think that?
But that was without us. We were still trying to contribute to, because there was a fear that we were taking jobs.
But were we?
Oh, we were, of course. We were taking all the labor jobs.
Yeah. So, but like, at the end of the day, were the jobs there? Like, the contribution to Irish people to Britain or to America because there was waves of, this is what happens with any waves of immigration, that there's always going to be a sentiment of
I believe exactly,
and that's been leveled at us time and time again.
But as it transpired, we were needed.
But
we were needed for work.
We have less than.
I watched a documentary on a very interesting documentary on. It was called Mankind, and it went on for ages. And I think I watched it in all one go. And it went from the time of the beginning of, we'll say, mankind. They reckon they traced the humans back to four men, and obviously they needed a woman. From Africa.
She was a busy girl.
Anyway, they skipped forward. They went through every sort of period that they went to, and then they went to the 1800s, the 1800 to 1900s, and they give a special mention to Ireland. Ireland. They said that Ireland contributed by size of country, that they contributed more than any other country in the world.
Repopulating the world.
Yeah, not repopulating, but actually the railways, the railways in
like,
America,
No doubt.
the whole
But
works of that.
there's a really, really important comment here. Is that 30,000 undocumented in Boston alone? Should they be sent home? Yeah, it's a really important point. Why should we have Why should we be saying one rule for people coming in?
That is true, and that is a tough one, obviously. But then people have been there contributing to society. I'm pretty sure.
But there's people here contributing.
I understand. I understand that too.
So
well, would you get in now? Would you get into America
if
now?
If I wanted to go in undocumented,
you would not. You would not get into America without if you pissed
a holiday visa.
Not even if you, Chris, if you caused any sort of problem, you would not get into America.
Yeah, I know that, but like
that's the difference. Then people got into America, went through a vetting system. Every single 30,000 of them. There's no way they got into America.
Are you saying that we don't have a visa system? We don't have a vetting system at all?
No,
Stephen. We're first world country. Of course, we have a visa. We have a passport system.
But this is. But as the conversation from last night, Chris, people are coming in without even their passports.
That's because the rules on
how you don't need a visa if you don't have a fucking passport.
But like that's the rules on
EMCC. I understand that, but there's no way you got into America.
I could go on a 90-day holiday visa.
I want vetted for the US. I don't get that. I want vetted for the US.
But what I'm saying is, I could go and get a 90-day holiday visa.
You
could go to America,
but you would not get in. You would not get into America for even for your 3 months.
If
you had committed a crime.
And Ireland has the same to a very. There's differences, but they're the same.
I don't think there is, Chris.
We're talking about the reason that refugees get rid of their passport, they might be coming from a war-torn country, or they might be might be a life or death situation wherever they come from, and they can only get into the country through the refugee system by being on Irish soil, and they can't be sent away if they've lost their passport. So they gain the system that way. But they're
not even their passports aren't even being looked for.
That's the same in America. If you go to the Mexican border, you go to the Mexican border and you seek asylum by climbing over the fence, you won't be sent back to Mexico.
Are you sure about that, Chris?
100%.
The person that was in America in Boston for 6 years, is that true? They're just J Bubs, yeah, that one there. It's the same in the UK now. The Republic is the second choice.
Yeah, the social welfare system
is on the brink of collapse. 100%. I would love to house everyone that needed help in the entire world if we had a system, but we don't.
Well, I agree with that. Our housing system.
That's my whole argument.
Oh, but what I'm saying, my argument is that it's not that this idea that we have open borders and anyone could just walk in the country, that isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a visa system,
Chris. We don't.
What are you talking about? I know all the different visas that you have to come into the country. But I worked with a girl that
you're arguing that case. You're arguing that case, and I'm arguing against it without. But I am listening to people on the ground, and
I'm on the ground. I work in recruitment. I bring people in from other countries.
Anyway, we're not going to argue.
No, but what I'm saying is saying that we don't have a visa system. Ireland is really hard to get a stamp for a visa.
Well, it doesn't seem to be.
Well, it is.
You're telling me that
you have to have a certain amount of days worked to get into this country.
But you said there's 130,000 people came in last year. You're telling me that they're all skilled. I don't believe that for 1 second.
But like 130,000, but a lot of them would be EU residents, so they don't need a visa to come into this country.
It's the fear of the unknown and lack of understanding on both sides. That is true. King's app. I work with large immigration team, Irish, Poles, Romanians, Indians, Pakistani, Portuguese, Irish. None are afraid to bring their shovel.
True.
Fair enough.
It's like I understand that the parameters for legal immigration are tough to get into, and there's very few that are. The undocumented thing is wildly overblown.
Sorry, Andrew Conway laughing at King's app claiming it in working for immigration group of multinational. Do these people living in Ireland,
the US.
as with the US, Canada, identify as Irish now?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Positive energy. This was posted in Midwest this morning. 141,600 people arrived here on a period leading up to April this year, which represents 31% increase on the same period last year. That's 141,600. So I just don't think we have enough of a system to deal with that.
Yeah, like housing's clearly.
And then that adds to our hospitals, our schools.
Of course.
Avanza says first world country, but deliberately not doing background checks. Dodgy. Of course, it's dodgy, and that's my point. I don't believe that they're doing background checks at all. There's enough money set up a division to do the background checks, keeping citizens safe, and that is my entire point.
Well, I agree with that. People should be background checked. I think America.
But I don't think they are.
I think that visa checks, and I've had to run like so as part of some of my previous jobs to say with multinationals, with Google or Amazon. There's companies that go out and do criminal checks.
Mm-hmm.
Go out on your behalf. They'll do the criminal checks. If they get a clean bill of health, then they're viable for a visa. They have to go through that process.
And do you think that's happening in this country?
100%. If they want to come in here with a job,
I think you're wrong. Well,
to get a visa,
oh yeah, sorry,
to
work, yeah, for a skilled worker to come in.
Yeah.
But that is not. I don't believe that the majority of people are coming in like that.
Well, how do you think
there is a lot of people coming in like that, but there's also a lot of people coming in through other means.
I don't know how. I don't know how you can say that because the numbers don't say that.
Which numbers?
The 13.
So you're telling me 141,000 skilled workers came into the country?
No, but I'd say a large proportion of them did, and 141,000 workers.
Well, I hope they did, but I find that very hard to believe.
Belgium,
of course,
or France,
yeah, and that's not to say we're not picking on any particular country either or any particular race. I just think there's way too many people coming in that are here for ulterior motives, and we're a soft touch. Or an absolute soft touch.
You can say we're a soft touch, but
we're a very soft touch.
How many Irish lads do you know that are going to Sweden? Our own mate is in Sweden. No visa checks.
Who, Martin?
Yeah. Did he do a visa check?
Well, he married a Swedish girl.
Doesn't matter. It's an EU country.
An EU country.
So if he had a criminal history,
is Sweden an EU country?
Yeah. If you go to any other country,
they have their own currency though.
So
fair enough.
Ireland used to have their own currency, and they were in the EU for 20 years before they changed to the euro.
But I think they changed to the euro with everyone else did.
Yeah,
they did
in 1999.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm saying is that we have I have family who go back, jump on a plane and go to work in different countries and come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that everyone's contributing to some sort. I think the amount of people that aren't contributing in this country that are on social welfare is super low. We have less than 5% that are unemployed, that are in the ages of 15 to 64.
And I'm not saying there's some lazy Irish fellas as well.
Of them. But like the working
King's app says I'm getting an Irish passport because my folks are Irish. Also, my wife and 3 children. I'm retiring to Fullinmuck. Or
I need to see what that's
there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Ballydehab. Haven't heard of either of them two places.
Or Ballydoab.
This spelt right? Well, you would know. I've never heard of them two places. Which county are they in?
King's
Consume creamy pints every year or every night. That sounds like an absolute.
Thoughts on McGregor versus Broy? I think Joe Broy is fucking 100% in the right.
I can imagine. I haven't heard the argument. I only seen a brief snap of a few tweets.
I didn't see anything on Twitter. I saw. Yeah. I did hear Joe Broy.
And then we're going to go on to the Katy Taylor fight before we run out of time again.
Yeah.
tonight, which we will. So yeah, so we'll keep this. We've about 15 minutes left. I didn't hear what is the crack with them.
But Joe Brawley was very clear in the in having a go at Conor McGregor because of his riling up the crowd on Twitter the night of the riots.
I know that. I know McGregor absolutely completely messed up and jumped ahead of the gun. I don't think he realized it was going to get as serious as it did. He's kind of backtracked the next day, but obviously the damage was done at that side.
But like when he posted that picture and like about the rioters, and it just happened to have two black lads in it.
That was deliberate.
If that was deliberate, and some of the stuff that he was seeing, like, look, he's a madman. No Irish people is expecting Conor McGregor to be a beacon of light for them. He's a cage fighter. He gets punched in the face for a living. Like, why?
I know that
we're not holding him up.
That's true. You've always said that.
Like,
you expect Conor McGregor to say things that are going to make profound
he's
sense.
He's a wild man.
He is a wild man.
He gets into a cage and he scraps with the lads for it. What are we talking about here? Joe Brawley, in fairness, is one of Ireland's foremost scholars. He's a barrister. He's a known radio and media personality. He is.
Shannon says, I just started a new job. And hi, Shannon, by the way, a very good friend of ours. She's American. I started a new job and I have to produce an FBI report with my fingerprints to keep the contract, just because I lived in America for 24 years. So, but why aren't the people that are coming in now have to do the same thing?
If you were going through the visa system, and
if you're going through the visa system,
you have to.
Yeah, well, that's if you go through the visa system. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. We won't get sucked back into it.
We just get bogged down in the thing is, the conversation that we're having is important, and it's good to air these things. Like, look, I think some of the commentaries, like, we all have our own opinion. We all be respectful and listen to each other, and I think that these guys are that are in the comments. They've got really. They really understand these parts.
Yeah, 100%. And thank you so much for getting involved in it. And
no matter what, we are both agreed this has been a complete failure of government.
Oh, 100%. I just blame them for everything anyway. But
there's a major problem.
And the thing is, if they'd done something right, I would be the first to say, well, that was done right. Yeah, positive energy. And someone wrote this on the back of the Midwest Post. And more coming in while our own are suffering housing shortage, given the immigrants plus landlords renting to immigrants, avoiding tax and housing. You see, that's it, because there's an incentive to bring in immigrants, and that's not. It's yes, a little bit to blame with the landlords. That's what they choose to do, but it definitely. That's a government fault as well.
We'll move on, right, and we'll pick this up again, because there's obviously a lot more to be talked about.
County Cork, one of the finest counties.
Oh, there's
one of the finest counties, the biggest county by double.
Murphy's, Beamish,
Guinness, the whole works. Was Island's Edge, but that's gone.
Pure gone.
For all I tried to save it. For all I tried to save it.
You buried it good.
I did.
Right. Katy Taylor fight.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a rundown on your thoughts on
the Katy Taylor fight
and the other fight?
And the other fights? The whole thing was great. The thing we went up on the Friday night, and I was meant to do something with Forged Stout. Obviously that's Conor McGregor Stout, and because of the tweeting he done on the Thursday night, it got the guards said it couldn't go ahead.
I think a lot of events were cancelled by the guards.
Yeah, maybe. I think they just, but I'm pretty sure that one was definitely going to be cancelled. So we did that. Didn't stunt our growth.
No,
we went out for some creamy pints and a couple of gins as well. I don't know where they came out of. So
that would have been me.
Yeah, and I snuck a few in myself.
You sure did.
So
Rachel, you're in Sydney now.
oh, very good.
Enjoy.
It's been ages.
Yeah, I hope you're keeping well.
How is Sydney getting on?
Yeah.
So we went out, and then that put us on the back foot for the Saturday night, but we really, really enjoyed it. I had to be down early again on Sunday, so we had a few early ones. We met up with the Forged Out guys, and we got the ticket from Eddie Ahern, actually.
Yeah.
And we went in, and we had the VIP tickets, the whole works. We had a great chill out time, and then we went in for the first main fight.
Thomas Carty fight we went in for, and
even though they said that Emmett Brennan should have been on the main card.
100%. But what they want to do is they needed a big name for so Emmett Brennan's fight was out live on YouTube.
Yeah.
At the time.
Okay.
So they put out a free fight.
He was like a fly.
Yeah, just kind of get
as
people
an efficient
to buy
fly.
the rest. Yeah, buy the rest of the pay-per-view. Here's a free fight.
Okay. Yeah. And he won too.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I actually rewatched it on YouTube. So if you get a chance, Emmett Brennan is a Dublin lad, real talent. He had his own problems with alcohol, and quit alcohol about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So
Emmett Brennan. Okay.
Yeah. And he's refocused, and he's come into, and yeah, look, he's in his second professional fight. He's won the Celtic title, fastest anyone's won the Celtic title, which is amazing.
Brilliant.
Our friend Keith, who we met at Keith Pendridge and the boys.
Was he boxing as well?
He wasn't boxing, but he is making a documentary on Emmett Brennan.
Yes, he was.
Fair play to him. So
actually, he was only a couple of seats away from us on the night. So then the Thomas McCarthy fight. Thomas Carty. I keep saying Thomas McCarthy, who seems to be a bit of a character. I really, a bit of crack.
Heavyweight fight.
Heavyweight fight. It was a typical heavyweight fight.
Yeah,
there was nothing too fancy about it. He just wore him down.
And then when he knocked him out, yeah, like
good night, Mullingar.
Yeah, sure was. It was that was fun.
The next fight was
Paddy the Real Deal Donovan.
Yes, yeah.
What he's a superstar.
Yeah, and he's going to be good.
He's going to be so good.
He was very good for a lad in a dress. That dress needed its own title.
Oh, the dress was flowing. Was flowing.
That if there was like that dress should have got its own belt.
Yeah, but he's spectacular.
He does. He looks fast.
Like the crowd was really building.
It was building at that stage, 100%.
Between the Thomas Carty fight and the Donovan fight, there was you could see the crowd were really filling in.
Yeah,
lots of fine looking women.
Yeah,
sauntering around the
place. Now my eyes were blinkered to that. Obviously.
Obviously.
I'm not into that crack.
I was just taking in the beauty.
You were. I was more interested in the boxing.
Oh yeah, because you're an aficionado.
Yeah.
Paddy Donovan was very, very good. He was excellent, in fairness.
Yeah.
And then Cully was on.
Cully was he was the one. We're missing one there, are we?
Are we?
Real Donovan, Cully. No, Carty, Donovan, Cully. We're definitely missing someone there.
Missing someone, yeah.
Anyway, Cully was on beforehand. Yeah. He was fighting. Well, he was fighting an English lad, wasn't
he? Yeah, a lad from Doncaster. He was the European. That was for the European title.
And again, did that go? That went the distance.
That went the distance, but Cully won it on a split decision.
That was a tight one.
He controlled the fight. In fairness to him,
it was definitely a tight one.
The intro at the start with Dan McCabe.
Oh yeah, and
poor
Walsh girl.
No, it wasn't Maeve Walsh. It was a girl called Heather. What's her name? Heather.
No, it was Maeve Walsh.
It wasn't. No.
But sure, I thought
the Piper.
Yeah,
it wasn't. I'm telling you.
I'll
actually get the. I'll get the name of the.
You
girl
get it up there.
Go to Dan McCabe's page.
I can guarantee you, with Dan McCabe, it was. Anyways, let's get on to. Did you say gin? Jesus wept. That's a summer drink. Plymouth gin is the best.
Drink.
Well, I drink Harpic out of a clog, so I would if I thought it'd give me a kick. And sometimes the creamy
Tara
pints.
Howley.
Tara Howley. Fuck me. You're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah, for they that intro was unbelievable.
Yeah, I put my hand up there and say I was wrong. 100% wrong. It was Tara Howley. I just have I follow both, and yeah, it was Tara.
Really. Big music aficionado,
I've mentioned both in I do a music suggestion box.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned both in the music suggestion box, and that's how I know them, and that's how I ended up
they're very
chatting with them.
the two of them are very good, great musicians.
Anyway, getting on to the Katy Taylor fight, straight onto it. She deserved it.
She was unbelievable.
Yeah.
What?
And anyone that says that she didn't is talking through their hat.
They
don't know about.
She was in fairness, she was up against it. She had her opponent was brilliant.
Yeah, it was a great fight. The thing is, it was a great fight.
Cameron is unbelievable. And what if they do the trilogy? An unbelievable fight that's going to be. Katy Taylor changed things altogether. Came out front foot. She looked really.
And because
sharp.
she was the challenger, she came out first.
Yeah.
Which was, do you know what? I'm gonna have to pull the plug on this, but we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna pick up the whole Katy Taylor fight.
Yeah.
The next time.
Sure.
Yeah.
She won.
She won, and she deserved it. And what an unbelievable! And we'll talk about the next time. Conor McGregor wasn't allowed there; he was asked to stay away. And we'll talk all about all the ins and outs. Eddie Hearn, the whole works.
Maybe might do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow morning.
We might do that tomorrow morning because I'm flying to France. Tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. So thank you guys for tuning in and getting interactive again with us tonight. It's always great to get the more people that come on to it, the more insightful it is, the more crack we have. And the next time we won't be as deep. We'll have a bit of crack around it the next time.
Sure.
And Rachel, fair play out in Sydney. Hope it's going well for you out there. And for everyone, Shannon and Andrew and King's App and the whole works, Positive Energy, thank you so much for getting involved. And we will chat to you the next time. Until the next time, stay safe, stay healthy.
And stay away from yourself.